senior project right here. My essential question was, what are the steps needed to organize an event, spread awareness about multiple sclerosis to students at Millis High School? Now, what I ended up doing was I held a walk around the track. I held information, as you guys will see in a few minutes when I show this. I held information all around the track. I held a quiz, and I had incentives with gift cards in order to get people to come outside and feel excited about learning about multiple sclerosis. Now, the reasons I chose this topic, I felt like there was an underappreciation for MS, and I never really knew about the disease myself. If I had never met my aunt, I wouldn't know what MS was, and I feel like not many people know what MS is. And with my aunt fighting currently, she has to get up every single day, she has to deal with the issues it comes with, and I'll touch on that later on about how it actually feels. And I always felt bad. She would host Easter dinner, and anytime she did that, it felt like she was doing chores and she was having so much trouble, and I always felt bad. I wanted to learn more about the topic. Now, my inspiration for my actual event, I'm sure everybody here knows the Relay for Life. I held it at our own school, and you would go around the track, and basically every lap you did, you would get a bead or something and add on to your bracelet, and I felt like I could use that to help myself make a project. And my second inspiration was the MS walk, and I personally participated in the MS walk. There's news anchors, some famous people, it always depends on the year who's there, but basically you take a walk, and it's like a 3-mile walk, and so many people donate, and it's amazing. And I felt like to combine that with the Relay for Life, I could create something that's a little bit mix of the two, and create something that I could help students learn a lot. Now, this is my aunt right here. This is me when I was little, but that was my mentor, and there was many times where I saw the impact MS had on my aunt. I talked about this before, but it's really hard for her to get up. Sometimes she'll wake up at 2 p.m. and you'll wonder, why is she not at this family event, or what's happening? And you always have to keep in mind, like, this is very tolling on her, and that's something that inspired me a lot. And seeing how hard it is for her to deal with it, she pushes through it every day, and I couldn't be more proud of her. So she was the perfect person to mentor me, and I thought she did a wonderful job. Now, a quick overview of MS. This was mainly where I got all my research from. I needed to do mostly research on this in order to find out what I was going to teach people about, and I'll just go through it quickly. Basically, it's a lot of nerve damage in your body, and I'll show a video in a second, but you send attacks on your own body, and it's very painful. It can be taxing on your muscles, and effects may vary from person to person. You need specific doctors in order to diagnose it. It's very hard to diagnose. You need to go through a lot of tests, and it's fairly rare. 3.5 out of every 1,000 people have it. So currently about 1 million people in the United States have it. And I'll just play this video really quick.
Imagine this headphone cord represents a normal nerve. This is what that same nerve might look like after the protective covering is damaged by multiple sclerosis.
Something triggers this attack, and then intermittently it flares up and causes damage to the actual nerves within the brain and the spinal cord.
Neurologist Dr. Dean Wingerchuk says MS symptoms can vary depending on the location of the nerve damage.
It's the optic nerve, which is for vision. It could cause loss of vision in one eye.
Other common symptoms include numbness in one or more limbs, tingling or electric shock sensations, dizziness, and slurred speech.
It also tends to strike people in early adulthood, so most people developing their first symptoms in their 20s or 30s.
Dr. Wingerchuk says although there is currently no cure for MS, several drug therapies are now available, and real strides are being made in research.
But a lot of really brilliant people throughout the world who are doing their best to try to crack the mystery that's MS and put a stop to it.
For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Jeff Olson.
So I thought the headphone thing was really cool because it describes well on how you attack your own body essentially. And obviously you can see from the video how hard it may be on someone to even get up in the day.
Imagine.
Now, what I hope to achieve and get out of the project, I wanted to teach Millis High School students about MS, and because I felt like it was underappreciated. And since I never knew about it myself, I figured, why not teach everybody else? I feel like this can be an important topic, and a topic that I personally feel very strongly about, and I thought I did that very well. And I wanted to also learn more about hosting an event, and of course I couldn't make this just about everybody else. I had to make it about myself, but I had never hosted an event before or done anything of the sort, so I figured this would be good for my personal development. I felt like going to college, I need to branch myself out there, essentially, and do something bigger than what I thought I could do. Here are my plans on getting my project done. First, I had to figure out a time and a place. This was one of the harder things, and I'll touch upon it later, how essentially it was handed to me when it was gonna happen, but I figured people wouldn't necessarily go unless it was just to support me. So if I held it on its own certain day, I didn't think there'd be much of a turnout at all. Obtaining and creating posters, that's my next slide. I got these posters right here. And creating an incentive for participating in my project. I figured, although there's a good cause, I needed some way for people to want to come out and participate. And then finding some sort of entertainment. I needed to be able to keep people at my project completely entertained and not just have a boring little walk around the track. Now, getting started on senior project proposal day, it immediately got approved, and this is where I had my conversation with Mr. Carter about the Lacey Senior Project Showcase, and I figured that'd be the perfect time to hold my project because students would already be in the school. It wouldn't be hard for them to come outside, and it wouldn't take much for them to come out and support me and learn. And then contacting the Lacey, I did this immediately after the proposal, and basically it was just a quick Snapchat, like, can I hold my event? Yes. Awesome. That's all it really took. Now, making my signs, I'll hand out these signs real quick. You guys can take a look at them. That one's rubbed off a little bit, but my mom ordered these off Amazon. I didn't even know at the time, but once she got them, I figured they'd be perfect. You stick the metal things in them, and they're like lawn signs. And as you can see, I used some different colors, and I wanted to keep it mainly black, so when there was different colors, it would pop. This is one for stimulation and second for clues. This green color right here, it was just hints on like little tips or whatever. It wasn't actually on the quiz, but anything that was red or blue, you needed to remember for the later quiz. Now, making my quiz, I had a lot of trouble finding a site that would work because I had a specific goal in mind, and I figured I need this to go exactly how I want it to. And I eventually came upon quizzes, and I needed to make 2 different accounts, 2 different quizzes, but that doesn't really matter too much. And once I made this teacher mode, I was able to track everybody's progress, how many got right, how many got wrong, the percent, and the score. So I was able to see who scored the best out of a certain grade group and who won the gift card. And I thought that worked out perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better website. My prizes. I thought a prize would have students eager to come out. Now, that didn't necessarily come true, but I thought it would. My original idea was lollipops. I would keep it similar to the Relay for Life where you would just get beads and it could stack on. I was gonna have lollipops for anybody who scored an 85% or above, but that's when I was thinking of doing a Google form or something like that where you couldn't get a necessary score. And after I talked to my mom, she thought otherwise. She figured a gift card would serve a much better purpose, and I couldn't agree with her more. And after finding the quizzes where someone will win, I figured that'd be great. Entertainment. I had my talk with Mr. Grant, the one that the English teachers planned, and immediately he was happy with my project. He suggested the Bigfoot speaker, the Mills Boosters donated it. It's absolutely ginormous, and I'm glad that he suggested it because I was able to play some tunes all day. And I talked to Mr. Finney the day before the project, which is something I could have done earlier, but luckily for me, it ended up working out. He was okay with it on such short notice. And this is my final project. As you can see, I have these signs posted all around the track. I have people looking at them. I thought the students were very engaged. People are obviously happy to win their gift cards, and I had a decent turnout for certain grades. So I was pretty happy with how I put it together. Now, my successes, I felt like on my quiz, there was very high levels of participation. For the people who came and did the quiz, they actually tried, and I thought that was great. There was mostly high scores, and I seemed to retain genuine interest. As I walked by, I heard people saying, oh, I didn't know this person had MS, or this person, or I didn't know this fact, and I thought that was really cool. Now, some failures are what I thought it could have gone better. It was bad weather, and I was the only outside project, so having people come outside is very hard to do. especially when, like, it's a bunch of students. I can't expect them to want to necessarily go outside. And I can't blame them for that, and I can't really blame myself for that. It was just a circumstance. Low amount of students, as I said before, not many people wanted to go outside, and I think mainly it's because I was competing with a 3-point contest that you were allowed to watch. And once people could sit down and watch that, I felt like it was harder to get people to get up and come outside to support me. I thought there'd be more people to support me, but it didn't necessarily turn out that way. And then specifically to the freshmen, I think I could have done a better job explaining that since this was a time quiz, I should have had them go around the track one time beforehand, and I did that with the rest of the grades. But freshmen, you need to explain things like 4 or 5 times, so even though I said it once or twice, a lot of people didn't remember. What I got from the project, I thought I did a successful job in enlightening students on the struggles of MS and spreading awareness. I thought that went great. People now know about MS. It's well known in the Mills High School. I learned how to coordinate and hold an event. Never done that before. I thought it went well. I thought I did a good job for my first time especially, and I became more confident. I don't usually belt my voice or anything, but that's something I had to do to round people up, bring them inside and outside, and essentially yell at people to try to get them to come outside. Some thank yous. I have a lot of quick thank yous. My aunt, she did a great job. She's always giving me magazines and everything. She thought what I was doing was very important, and I thought it was important. She helped me out greatly. My mom, as I said a million times, she helped me out with a lot of my ideas, and it turned out great. Mr. Carter, thank you for helping me find my time and place, because that's the main thing in my project, essentially. DeLacy, he held a great senior project showcase. I couldn't have asked for a better day, maybe better weather, but and also Mr. Grant, he gave me the idea for the Bigfoot speaker. I couldn't be more thankful for that because there was a lot of good entertainment, played some great tunes. And Mr. Finney, who actually gave me the speaker, he came early. He didn't have a class that day, that morning, and he came outside at 8 a.m. Now this is my excited and questions.